Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Smasher was in My Hero Academia. So, yeah. This is his actual form. So, yeah. It was just weird. With to making these what ifs. When if you like, share, subscribe, and do all that things, yeah. So now let's begin. And he has, I forgot who's his sister. Would it be her or would it be her? Let's say it was her. So yeah, in this video, just in this video. So yeah. So both of them, or she knew that her brother is strong and mighty thing. So they decided to, like, they grew up together. And yeah, when they were 15, they basically went to school. Like the UA Academy. And they both went their separate ways thing. Like as he tells his little sister that I'll come in and check on you once in a while, okay? As she says, okay, big bro, and say the trouble, okay? Yeah. As he got put into class 1B, like class 1B because he was class 1B material. And so he did like the ball throw and horn assessment test thing. But there was one thing that no one could do. And Mr. Aizawa's team couldn't even lift the big metal box that was designed to not be movable. Okay? So, as Zuku was, so all of them failed. As he looks at the blood hero. Alright. And that's why, sorry about that, my throat decided to do something crazy. So, yeah. And so one of the students, Mushroom Girl, decided to ask him, because they never met before, as she tells him that, walks over to the blood hero to ask him if she could move it, because it was supposed to be like cooperative, so that all the class 1A and 1B, except for her Smasher, that's his name, by the way, Smasher. So he says, go right ahead. As she tried to lift it under the ground, even like they had a hard time doing it. As you all failed. No. As Blood Hero says that, as they forgot one person, as they point, or not manga, one of the class 1A students raised their hands. How about that guy? As they turn to look at Smasher, just was sleeping. As Zuku, or as he walks over, wakes him up by just tapping on his shoulder as he wakes up. Yeah. As Mr. Aizawa says, how about take a crack at that big block over there? As, sure. As he walks over to that big block thing, as he picks it up, he grabs it, and he literally, from the underneath, or like grabs it from the handles, or actually from underneath, and like he lifts it up, and he holds it up like, what's so heavy about this? It's kind of lightweight. As everyone is shocked. Like, how did he do that? Because Smasher's powers, like his actual powers, is infinity. So, yeah. And how far as Mr. Aizawa says, well, I want you to throw it all the way over there into do you see that metal bin over there? Yeah, chuck it. Okay. As he threw the metal, like, box all the way to where he says, as it landed right in the garbage can, lid closed, as they couldn't believe that Smasher has the special strength that no one knew about. As the Zook, or when his sister saw him check that into the garbage can, as she says to herself, "That's my big brother, always being bullheaded, but he gets a job done right way." As that big guy that looks like he is a bull, as she turned around, yeah, he gets that a lot, but he's used to it. Oh, okay. So, what about your big brother? Does he have some, like, quirk or something? Well, he does have a quirk, but to like make himself smaller or bigger. Kind of like that Marvel's or Incredible Hulk one. But other than that, and is nothing compared to his actual power. As what do you mean by actual power? As she tells him, as my goodness. Okay. So you're saying that he is basically like All Might, but way too strong or way too powerful? Yes. So now, as Mr. Aizawa is interested in Smasher, because he's always focused on. So he walks over, or he tells him to walk over. As he walks over, and he asks Zuku, or he asked him if he wants to join Class 1A, because of that strength. As he, like, well, as they're like, they couldn't believe that he's, as, say, I'm skipping the heroes versus villains, and of course, at the USJ thing, let's say Class A and Class B went to there at the same time. And they were all freaking out about the villains came out of nowhere. And I still forget and to do. So, yeah. So, yeah, they were all freaking out. But only person that's calm was Smasher. Of course, he says, as he tells 13 to calm, or to get everyone out of here. As even 13 is freaking out. As only person that really gets a hold of these things was Smasher. So he knew what to do. And as he opens the pocket universe thing and drops them in there, as he turns around and he says, "Let me do it." And no close hand combat too. I won't slow you down. As Mr. Aizawa has got remembered by Nezu that about Smasher is he's basically a bull in a china shop, and he does things right way. So, yeah, he starts like saying, okay, and they both like went, and they were so synchronized that even like everyone thought they were. So, yeah, with that much firepower, as he knocks out one or 50 men, these aren't like low tier villains. They're very, very, very dangerous villains. And like they could just end a world. But Smasher doesn't have a problem with them. To his eyes, he could see them as weak buffoons, as he knocks them all out. And Shiraki-sen is surprised that his student hasn't took out all the high-end villains. As he also grabbed Nomu, strings his body around, and he as Smasher tells Mr. Aizawa, but Mr. Aizawa was on a floor, all bruised up, as he used a portal thing again to teleport him to his pocket universe. As Shiraki-sen says, you don't have any support for you. This is the end of your student. Oh, really? As he starts being you really don't know what I'm capable of. As his body, or as he went full on super missile, basically like Super Saiyan. Like, imagine him on a whole nother level. Yeah. And you say, or he says to them, you who all thought you were high-end villains, but to my eyes, you are low-tier villains. You don't worth anything. As Zuku straight up, he went like, you know that scene where in that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where that arrow comes in, like, spins around and kills everybody. And yeah, and he caught his own arrow. Yeah. Basically like that, but on a whole nother level. As Shiraki-san and couldn't believe this kid's power level is enough to make all for one run for his money. And the makes Zuku, or makes All Might run for his money too. As at the villain's base, All for One was watching, as he's interested in this kid's power. As he's grinning from ear to ear, because he now knows this powers. So, yeah, All for One is like, okay. As what is his power? Or what is... He's called Smasher. He's very highly intelligent person. But he is also but his powers, or his quirk, shape manipulation. As you know that, like, Ant-Man and Giant Man are like the same person thing? It's like him as Giant Man and him as Ant-Man. So yeah, they both like shrink, grew. So yeah, they both were watching the fight, and of course, Shiraki-san did not want to get killed by him. Decides to say, Kirigiri, it's time to go. Agreed. Before you start getting killed by... As he was basically says, where are you two going? The only place that you'll be going to is to jail. As he knocks out Kirigiri, he also grabs him, hand him in, and knocks his butt out. And he ran through the door and ran all the way to to the police station, dropped him off, told him that there's more high-end villains are over there. So, they went, and of course, I'm skipping the sports festival and the internship, but at the ham park thing, Mushroom Girl walks up to him and confesses her feelings for him, as she wants him, as every girl that's in Class 1B wants him too. The after USJ thing, he releases everybody. As they couldn't believe that he knew what to do, and but as his sister got the news of her brother had to fight for his survival thing, basically, as she runs over and gives him a hug. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Those high villains are to me, it's they're garbage. So yeah. So now as Smasher says, okay. As, of course, it was actually both girls. I was gonna say her too, but both of them were basically, so both of them, and her went and decided to date, or to get dating him and get married to him. So so that's what they did. And at the camp park, or after the camp park, the All Might versus All for One, All Might was down but not out. So All for One says goodbye to you, as zuku, or as Smasher made a double image. One that looks like this, and a real him, as he throws as, of course, All for One used a beam thing, and Smasher uses that same technique that that Bleach character was. Let me show you. Basically, like, All For One did that, and Zuku, or Smasher's clone, stopped the entire attack and absorbed it and threw it right back at him. At exact same time as oh wait, this one. Sorry. At exact same time as the spirit bomb got thrown right at him. As he says, "Take this, you jerk." And All For One got obliterated. Like there was nothing left of him. So yeah, as everyone was so stunned of his power that was fully released, as yeah, it caused just such explosion. He thing is he teleported everyone away before. And as he brings them all back, as they see how destructive the powers are, as he used his power, once he took, or when he puts his feet on the ground, it starts rebuilding itself, or it rebuilds where he was at. Basically, like a city came right back. Like nothing happened. And All Might couldn't believe this kid's power is so great. Yeah. As he was like, so this is what she meant by the infinity power. Huh. As All Might, he was standing right next to him, as when he heard that infinity power was, as he was so happy. So his own sister tells him, or could him as he runs back home at the speed of sound. Basically, yeah. He teleported as he was say, "I'm done. I'm brain dead." Oh no. I'm joking. So, yeah. So he decides to go back to his house, as she runs up to him and gives him a hug, and she tells him that can believe you actually took care of all the high villains. Maybe they're just a cool-headed guy. And remember that, like, usual sayings? As she says, yep. The more I believe in you, I believe in myself. Oh. As that's what he said when he threw that ball. He says, take this, you jerk, first. And then he says, I believe in all, and all believes in me. Ball throw, as he threw the ball at, yeah. So, yeah, so he actually was dating not one, not two, but three people. The ones that you see before you. Oh, crap, sorry. So it was Mushroom Girl, that silver hair girl, and the one that was on the Yu-Gi-Oh card earlier. So she was, so all three of them are married to him all at once. Yeah. And they had powerfulest kids. Like, because the power of Smashers' power actually could boost up quirks to absolute max limits real fast. But they, at the same time, they're in control of their power. So, yeah. He does say, that's why I'm skipping the Ares' one, because Smasher saved Ares and took care of the villains with Deku and all those people, yeah. So, now, before we go, do you like the files that I did? Like, so that I don't have to look around for them. And second of all, if you want me to do any of your custom cards, I'm thinking about doing, like, fan cards thing. Only, there's 2 rules. 10 cards each, or 10 cards earn max, and 2 cards, or no, or I'll choose those, like, all that stuff. So, yeah. Did not mean to do that. So, and do like the, I'm gonna say it right here, before, who do you want me to do next? Do you want me to do One Punch Man? Or do you want me to do, like, the what if Simone was born as a anti-spiral that slowly became spiral? Or like, who would you pick? So it's your choice, so have fun.